All right, so today we're going to talk about the different types of substrates used for growing mushrooms. There's a couple different ones. We sell 3 different types. We'll discuss the substrate that we don't sell last. So to start off with, we've got plain sawdust substrate. This is going to be for wood-loving varieties. Plain sawdust is good for if you're working outdoors, or if you don't have a flow hood, or you don't want to make a still air box, or you want to grow something where immediately it's going to have access to fresh air. So this substrate is going to be really good for making outdoor mushroom beds, or if you want to set up a bucket or like a laundry basket for, say, oysters. This substrate is going to be really good for that. You don't really have to worry too much about contamination. There's not a lot of nutrition in this that mold or bacteria can utilize. It doesn't really have carbohydrates in a way that those organisms can utilize. So this is going to be your no contamination option for wood lovers. The other wood loving variety of substrate that we have is Master's Mix. Master's Mix has a lot of carbohydrates and sugars in it, a lot of nutrition in it. Basically, it's the sawdust that we use mixed with soy hulls. Soy hulls, it's a very sugary component. We mix that at a 50-50 ratio. Master's Mix, that's how it's always made. That's an industry term, Master's Mix. It's always going to be that 50-50 ratio of some sort of hulls mixed with wood. The addition of the carbohydrates and sugars and nutrition means that it's more susceptible to contamination. So you have to grow with this in bags. You can't spawn a tote bin with it. You'll get contamination within a day or 2. You can't do the laundry baskets with it. You can't really put it outdoors because animals will come and eat it. Bugs will eat it. You'll get mold all over your mushroom bed. Not a good idea. It has to be grown in the bags. Finally, we have our core vermiculite and gypsum with azomite substrate. We use azomite in our substrate to add some of the minerals that mushrooms like into the substrate. This substrate is typically used for dung or manure-loving mushrooms. The vermiculite adds some more moisture retention to it and adds a little bit more aeration just to get some more air into the mycelium so that it's able to breathe easier. Helps with growth as well. And then, like I said, the azomite, it gives it some mineral content. It doesn't have nutritional content as far as carbohydrates or sugars go, but it does have minerals to it that the mushrooms and the mycelium can use as building blocks to produce more material. The only substrate that we don't sell is a manure-based substrate. The reason why we don't use a manure-based substrate is because we use the azomite instead. I personally haven't noticed any difference between a manure-based substrate and just plain core and vermiculite. Some people will say up and down that it makes a massive difference, but personally I wouldn't want to have animal feces in my house or where I'm growing mushrooms, regardless of how it's prepared. To me it's just kind of gross, especially if you can avoid it. If you don't need to have it, then why would you? If you're getting the same results and you're not having to utilize something like that, you're not having to source it, you're not having to pay extra for it, it's just not worth it in my opinion. And like I said, we've got the azomite, which fills in the blanks that just plain core and vermiculite can leave behind. So you've got some extra minerals in there. So yeah, those are the types of substrate that we offer. And that's the substrate option that we do not offer. As far as our product lines go, we offer each variety in 3-pound and 5-pound bags. Those are pretty typical weights for these products. You don't want to have really big bags, like 10-pound bags. If you mix a little bit of grain in a 10-pound bag, it's going to take forever to colonize. and if it goes bad, you're losing, 10 pounds of material. You're better off just splitting that into 5 pounds and 5 pounds. The 3-pound bags are great for adding to shoebox totes or small size totes. And then the 5-pound bags are great for standard size mono tubs, the big like 66 quart tubs. Yeah, so that's all of our substrate stuff. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below or send us a message and we'll help you out with anything you might be wondering about. Thanks.